It's Sunday evening and we're back live with the Sunday Night Thunder right here on Turn 1. Hello everybody, I'm Sean Fitz. We're getting kicked off just a smidge early here. Out front, Chad Cole and Jason Karlovich on the front row. 120 laps here at Phoenix, getting ready to kick off under the lights in the ARCA car for the Sim 500 group. Thanks everybody for tuning in. It's going to be an exciting race here. Sub 27-second laps in a car that I would argue is probably just the perfect fit for this track. Practice was exciting. Qualifying was just as stout. 35 plus cars get ready to go racing here at Phoenix. Sim 500 and Sunday Night Thunder. Green flag. They spread out 3 wide. First time through the dog leg. Out front, Chad Coleman's going to try and hold everybody off. Oh, we got a big pileup. In the rear, there's... oh, goodness, that is about 10 cars or so affected right there. Not what I expected to see here at the start of the race. Goodness. We need to go back and take a look and find out what happened. Let's, Nelson Rivera. Looks like he was involved in this. Tell the story, Nelson. Oh, it was just underneath him. Oh! A big pile up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. At least 11 cars involved, maybe more. And that is not going to be the way of the night. These drivers wanted to kick off here at Phoenix. We're going to see a bunch of drivers come down pit road. Calatoni's going to be there. Ricky Barbary, Alan Wild, Bill Schoonover, Ricky Ellison, Stephen Miles. We see Rivera also down pit road, Gerald Livingston, Ron Holliford. There's just Hollyfield, a lot of drivers down pit road here. Not the kickoff they wanted to see here. Early going, but that's okay. While I've got you, just want to mention tomorrow night, American Sim Racing Tour right here on Turn 1 kicks off. Same time, same channels. For continued playoff action right here on Turn 1. You're not going to want to miss out on that. Some more Super Speedway action. That series is coming to an end. I believe we've only got about 2 to 3 weeks left before they take the summer off. And then we continue on with the Downforce Racing Series right here on Turn 1 Tuesday nights again, same times. That's that new group we talked about and had a race on Tuesday night. Cup car, I believe they are going to... they're done with Daytona. Maybe it's Vegas this week, I believe. So that'll be a fun race to watch. Quickie caution in the books. Pace car lights are off. That means we're going to go green flag next time by Chad Coleman. John Schrickart. John, in the one car, I apologize in advance. Mark Jorgensen. Jason Karlovich, Dalton England, your top 5. Seth Foudy rounding out the 3rd row there. Unfortunately, a lot of cars involved in that incident. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 remain down pit road. Pace car's going to duck down pit road on the backstretch. This long pull down this straightaway here. As they roll off into 3 and 4. Early caution in the books, but we're back green flag racing in Phoenix. Coleman goes deep on the bottom there through the dog leg. He saw what happened on that restart. He's got a little bit of pressure behind him, just needs to get clear through the corner. Oh, he's gonna have the one on the outside. They're gonna make wall contact, but Coleman is going to lead down the backstretch. Everybody's jockeying for position. It's going to be 2 wide for second. The one car is going to be on the high side, but then it's Jorgensen and England battling it out 3 wide for second as they roll through 1 and 2. Oh, more wall contact. That's going to trickle down. Jorgensen and England have to take evasive maneuvers to avoid the contact. Out front, Coleman, though, starting to roll about 2 car lengths. No pressure out of Coleman right now. The fight for P2 continues. Well, it looks like it's going to settle out with a 1 car. Now, it's Dalton England, Jason Karlovich battling it out. That is going to be for 3rd. Then just behind him is Jorgensen, Fuller, Foudy, Keller, Lane Phillips, and others. Deep down they go. And the 1 car, last time by, fastest lap on the track. And now you're going to see that speed materialize into a lead change side by side out of 2. It's a drag race down the backstretch. Coleman had the perfect corner exit. Still, the 1 car is going to be underneath him. Rolling through 3 and 4. Now it's all going to be about the dog leg. The 1 car is going to take it deep down. Coleman is going to stay high. A really good corner execution off of Coleman here. He's going to have the RPM in the car. He's going to be able to capitalize. Now the 1's in trouble. They had to pitch it down. Didn't have anywhere to go. Here comes all Dalton England. England now on the high side of the 1 as they roll through 3 and 4. England's going to really chop it low through the corner. Coleman's going to take it high. It's going to be a drag race down the backstretch. What a move by Dalton England. But he's going to lose a spot, maybe 2. Here goes Jorgensen on the outside. Mark Jorgensen up to P2 here tonight on lap number 11. Now we see the 1 car in the 40 battling side by side for 3rd. Jorgensen now is going to look underneath Coleman. Coleman's been feeling pressure almost every other lap here tonight so far. Can he hang on to the top spot? Or is Jorgensen going to race him hard for it, pushes him nearly up into the wall? Mark Jorgensen takes it deep down to the dog leg. They're side by side. Coleman's going to go to the high side. He's been rolling the high out of 2. Makes the speed up down the backstretch, but Jorgensen's going to stay tight to him. But he's not going to be able to get clear. Coleman's going to capitalize. Somehow the 1 car back up here into this. We see that bottom line not work for these drivers, especially out of turn number 2. Jorgensen's going to lose that spot. It's a revolving door in the top 3 so far tonight. More wall contact out of 2. Coleman's going to lead by a car length. Justin Fuller, the 51, high on the brakes there. We saw him have a really solid P2 run for most of the night at IRP and Lucas Oil last Sunday night. Can he capitalize on a strong most of the race run there and bring home the finish? Coleman out front, maintaining about that car length or so. We got a caution on the racetrack. Taking a look for it. Everybody slow. The 8 is sideways across the racetrack here. And that is Randy Yoken. This may have been a single car accident. Let's take a look here. Coming out of 2, just on the high side of the 08 and the 8 there, side by side. Oh, the 8 tried to squeeze it down. Oh, he did not. He was not clear. Spins off the nose of another competitor in the 8 car. Brings out the caution here for the 2nd time tonight at Phoenix. Here on lap number 15 of 120. Jack Coleman out front. John Schwickart, P2. Justin Fuller, Dalton England, Mark Jorgensen, your top 5. Jason Karlovich, Seth Foudy, Cody Keller, Logan Koger, and Glenn Campbell. your full top 10 here. We'll step aside for just a few seconds. Under caution for the second time, you're watching Turn 1. Pace car down pit road. Going to go back green flag racing here lap 18 at Phoenix for the Sunday Night Thunder crew right here on Turn 1. Appreciate everybody tuning in. So far, it's been a revolving door through the top 3. Can Chad Coleman hang on to the lead? Or does the 51 behind him got something for him? We're going to find out. Green flag back out. Coleman's going to be 3 wide in the middle there. He's going to back out of it. Bad start. Justin Fuller's going to take advantage. All of a sudden, Coleman back to 3rd. Several cars making contact with the wall. Fuller's battling the 1 for the lead. Fuller's going to take the underneath line and then go right down to the bottom here. Right through the dog leg. We've not seen a leader take that deep yet. Oh, the 1 car is going to try to pressure the 51. He's going to roll the outside. It's going to be a drag race down the backstretch. The 1, what an incredible turn number 2. Fuller's going to take it down early. Low into 3 and 4. The short way around. The 1's going to have the RPM in the car. Side by side. Oh, we got a big wreck behind him. Several cars spinning here with several cars in the fence. And that's going to bring out the 3rd caution here on lap number 20. The 1 car showing the lead right now. What a battle up front. Coleman fell all the way back to 3rd, but this is going to give him an opportunity to regroup. Dalton England 4th. Mark Jorgensen, your top 5. We're going to step aside again. You're watching Turn 1. The 51 and the 1 on the front rows. We get ready to get back green flag racing here. We see the 1 car taking the high line. He's starting to understand that maybe that's the power line. We've definitely seen a couple cars get stuck on that bottom and cycle out. Great restart. Back green flag racing here at Phoenix. Side by side. The 51 able to keep up. Check up a little early for the turn 2. Gonna slide. Oh, just across the nose of England. There's the 51. Oh, another caution on the racetrack. Looks like we got two cars involved, a 35. And another there. Caution heavy here in the early going, lap 25. Up front, the 1 of John Schrickart, Justin Fuller, Dalton England, Chad Coleman, Seth Foudy, Mark Jorgensen, Cody Keller, Tyler McAbee, Joe Hudson, and Michael Sharp, your top 10. Several cars either out or down pit road here tonight. It looks like we have about 10 cars, 12 cars now. Either down pit road or just out of the race as a whole. And under caution here once again at Phoenix. Lap number 26. You're watching turn 1. Coming to lap number 28 and another restart. Getting ready to fire off here under the lights at Phoenix. The 1 and the 51 up front. Looks like everybody but the last 10th place car has not been down pit road here, so only 9 cars left. That's a consideration on fuel. So go back green flag racing. Fuller gets a really big jump here. And he's free. He's got half a car length clear. That's going to be just enough to be side by side as they roll down the backstretch. The 1, though, is not going to slip up. Fuller can't unwind the wheel. And now all of a sudden, Dalton England on the outside of the 51, side by side. It's a 5-way battle for first as they roll across the start-finish line. This bottom line is really hurting some of these drivers right there through 1 and 2. And Fuller's going to lose another position. Dalton England's going to move up to P2. Chad Coleman now battling the outside of the 51. But the one car, he's got that thing pretty much on the rails. 2 car lengths out front of Dalton England here. Chad Coleman running third, battling Fuller for that position. And now England's going to look to the inside. He's going to be there for the corner, but again, this bottom line has just not worked for a lot of these drivers. I think you've almost got to be on the high side there. England's not going to get clear, even though he was alongside. He's going to actually lose time. Here comes Coleman. They all have to check up a little early into the corner. That's going to let the one start to pull away just a little bit. We see that outside line continuing to roll there. That's Coleman back up there and making it look fairly easy on that outside line as we see a car get in on the wall there out of 2. Several cars have done that so far here tonight. And just behind Coleman is Jorgensen, almost making contact with the rear bumper cover there of Coleman, but they roll out of the dog leg free and clear. Single file coming down the backstretch. Dalton England within striking distance of the one. The one's going to go to the bottom. This is going to be interesting. Can England capitalize? No, he's going to move back down to the inside. He's just trying to find a place on track that the one's not running to get by, but really the one's running right in the middle of turn 1 and 2, and that's blocking that line pretty hard. Oh, Fuller, huge wiggle. I think he was trying to avoid contact. And he's going to lose several spots. Fuller's going to fall back to 7th. Looking at last lap times, though, our leader, the slowest in the top 5, rather. Oh, and the caution's out. Another big pileup towards the rear of the field. Taking a look from the perspective of Joe Hudson. What happened back here towards the rear? Looks like Hudson and the 25 found the same place on the racetrack and then just swept up. Collected 5 or 6 cars, nowhere really to go. That's going to bring the caution out once again here at Phoenix. While our leaders are all hitting pit road for the first time tonight. See if we can get a good view of who's going to be bringing home the lead here once this is all said and done. Actually, I do believe some of these drivers... Nope. No, I was about to say, I think some of these drivers have not come down. There is some drivers on track that's staying out. We'll cover that in just a second, but for the lead group, Coleman's going to hit his box. See if he can capitalize on that first box spot. He's not going to be able to. It looks like that was Jason Karlovich out front first. It was, followed by Lane Phillips. The one, Chad Coleman, Dalton England, Mark Jorgensen. Right now they're showing back there around, that's 5th through 10th. Randy Oakham, Vincent Guerrero, Joey Gattina, and Brian Wortman, your top 4. We're going to step aside once again under caution for the 5th time on lap number 37. You're watching Turn 1. A whole new front row gets them started here at Phoenix. Couple drivers electing to stay out and capitalize on some track position. That's going to make it 4 wide back behind him. And there you've got the one car's into the wall. Big wreck again. Four wide through the dog leg is usually not going to turn out too well. Randy Yoakum going to capitalize, though, and remain the leader. I think we're going to see the one car pretty tore up in all of this. Yeah, he's fallen all the way back to 22nd. Almost avoided it. A fast car here tonight. Most likely out of competition here, as we're going to see some of the lead pack come down pit road, including the 45 and the 74. And a couple others. Been a little bit of a rough race here so far in Phoenix. Lap number 40. You're watching Turn 1. Randy Yoakum out front. Jason Karlovich P2. Green flag back out here. Lap number 43. Dalton England out of nowhere on the bottom is going to roll it. He's going to take the lead out of 2. He does have 20 lap fresher tires. Yoakum's going to be in a little bit of trouble here. He's going to lose some spots. In the meantime, new leader, the number 40 of Dalton England. Out free and clear 4. Car leaks over Jason Karlovich. Chad Coleman is back up to 3rd, and then right behind him, that's Lane Phillips. Now trying to get by Randy Yoakum on the inside. Yoakum just a sitting duck there with those tires on since lap 15. Everybody around him looking for an edge. In the meantime, though, up front, Dalton England has broken out to a 4/10 of a second lead over Jason Karlovich. The first big lead we've seen of the night. And this one shows you what a little bit of clean air can do for some of these drivers. England rolling the bottom through 3 and 4. looking clear just behind him. Chad Coleman now looking underneath Karlovic. Side by side. Coleman was on the pole, led a bunch of laps here. He's got speed, we know it, but once he's fallen back off the lead, has had some hard times getting around drivers. Has been the master of the high line. We'll see if he's able to bring that back. We look a little further back here. That's Stephen Miles, Cody Keller, and a couple others. I think we have some Seth Bounty fans in the chat. Seth right now. And that's 71 Hot Rod looking free and clear. Is sitting in 14th place. He's lost some spots, obviously, on the night. I think he's had a little bit of bad luck battling through some of this traffic and these incidents here in the early going. Nonetheless, England out front, 6/10 over Jason Karlovic, Chad Coleman, Lane Phillips, Stephen Miles, your top 5. Lap number 48 here in Phoenix. What could be the makings of a decent green flag run here. 120 laps. We're just about, we're closing in on, we're past almost a third of the way through here. Closing in on half. For the Sunday Night Thunder gang right here on Turn 1. ARCA Series, this is the second race of the season, a reset. And England out front, he continues to grow that lead, 7/10 now over the 38 and the 60. Coleman finally able to find a way around Jason Karlovic. We're just going to take a look at lap times as they come back around next time by. Can Coleman start to shrink that gap that exists between him and the 40? And what does the 40 got in terms of tires here after this long, a little bit of a longer green flag run? So last time by, our leader Dalton England, a 27:01. Chad Coleman, a 26:94, the fastest lap time of the top 10. Coleman on the move. And you can see that in that interval now, starting to shrink down to 5/10. Everybody on track for the most part. Scattered out, minding their business. Again, this has the makings of a decent long run here as Coleman continues to run down England. That lead now down to 4/10 of a second. So they work by some lap traffic on the outside there. That's not really going to catch him. That was a perfect place to, or that was a perfect place to catch him. Not really going to interfere with him. Again, Coleman continues to reel in our leader here. Lane Phillips is going to have to take it he took it pretty aggressive, swinging the car out to the left there, trying to get around that lap traffic. Cody Keller just behind him. And then it's a battle. No, that's not a battle. That's just trying to work by that lap traffic there. Justin Fuller. Remember, he fell way back after that, trying to take evasive maneuvers to avoid the contact. Had a car above him coming out of turn 2. Lost a bunch of positions. He's currently up to 6th after the pit stops. We go back up front. That gap now is shrunk to 3/10. And closing. Coleman on the move. Again, we saw that he took the pole here. Pretty strong performance out of that 38 car. Fell off the pace after a bad restart, and then just got caught in traffic now. Raced his way back through the field, through some spots. And now it's not tense, it's car links. 1 to be exact. Coleman on the hunt for the lead. We've seen him really leverage that high line entry. Arc it through 1 and 2. Lap number 56. He's just gonna be using him as a drag or pull down the backstretch rather. As they work by the 1. That is a sore sight right there. The 1 car really fast here. Now, not going to be competing for the race win tonight. And I'm going to say that slowed Coleman up just a little bit of lap traffic, and getting right into the dirty air of the leader. With so many incidents on track, several cars sitting a lap down. But here comes Coleman, looking underneath Dalton England side by side. Big jolt out of the 38 through that dog leg. Coleman's going to pin him down, or I'm sorry, England's going to pin Coleman down. A little bit of a wiggle. Big right rear steering off those tires coming off of 2. Coleman's not going to get clear of him. He's going to fall back in line. Coleman back to the high line there in 1 and 2. Again, trying to just arc that car, get some speed. Here comes Karlovic right behind him. Coleman closes the gap, but has nowhere really to go. England rolling the bottom there through 3 and 4. Right along the high side comes Coleman. Karlovic is going to run nearly in the same tracks as the 38. These two are going to have a pretty strong run here, but again, they catch the 38 catches the leader right at the worst spot, right near the entry into 3 and 4. Nowhere to go. In the meantime, Karlovic is going to be playing a factor here. I would argue, yeah, it definitely looks like England is slowing up the 38, but it's all about trying to get around somebody. Coleman going to run a little higher here through the corner. That's going to give him some really big speed off the backstretch. He's going to be there early. It's going to be side by side. He's going to take the inside. England's in trouble. Coleman on the inside of 3 and 4. It's a drag race through the dog leg. Coleman looks like he is going to come out even. Now he's going to be on the opposite side of the track where he wants to be through the corner. Coleman's been running the high line through 1 and 2. He's not going to be able to unwind the car, but this is his chance. Side by side down the backstretch, but England's going to pull him. Coleman's still there, though. On that inside line, Karlovic sneaking up behind him, waiting to strike in 3rd place. Right back underneath is Coleman. England on the high side. Coleman's got to decide. They've got to figure out a way to make a move here quick. Now Karlovic is on the high side. Coleman's blocked out. It's a 3-way battle for the lead. Coleman had to go below the yellow line just to try to avoid contact and make some space there. It's now a side-by-side battle for 2nd place. Karlovic on the high side. Coleman's going to slide back to 3rd. That's what I've been talking about. It seems very hard to pass anybody here at Phoenix, and it's really showing. We saw Coleman hang in underneath the leader there for about 3 laps. And that's the first time we've seen anybody really be able to hang on at all. As we're past we're on lap 65 of 120 here. The halfway point in the books for the Sunday Night Thunder Sim 500 group right here on Turn 1. I'm Sean Fitz. Appreciate you tuning in. Dalton England, Jason Karlovic, Chad Coleman, your top 3, and they're all battling for that top spot. Cody Keller has moved up to 4th. Lane Phillips, Justin Fuller, Stephen Miles, Randy Yoakum, Michael Sharp, and Tyler Mickey, your top 10 here tonight. I know scoring is not showing anybody past 20th, so we'll quickly cover that. Brent Scott is actually first car lap down. Logan Koger, Bill Schoonover, Eric Ellison, Glenn Campbell, Mark Jorgensen, Ricky Barbie is not running. Yep, I think that's where the cutoff is, actually. Let's take a look here. We got several cars already out. Yeah, it looks like only 27 cars remaining with Glenn Campbell several laps down. Karlovic now all over the bumper here of England. We've been saying it here we said it prior to that last battle, but I don't think England's the fastest car in the top three here, but he's got the track position. And it looks like maybe some clean air is key to being able to run pretty much everywhere. It looks like this track is kind of one lane, especially through 3 and 4. You can nail 1 and 2, take that outside groove. You're going to see Karlovic do it right there. Coleman's going to follow in the tracks. They're going to get a huge RPM run here, but you can't really do anything with it because you're not going to catch the car in front of you till right before the entry into turn 3 and 4. A battle to make passes here at Phoenix under the lights with Dalton England sitting up front. Karlovic right to the bumper. They're going to have some traffic to contend with. Does that play a factor? And how they work on maybe use one of these cars as a pick, or can Karlovic or Coleman take advantage? Does England get stuck behind some traffic? We're going to find out. At one point, we saw Dalton England out to nearly an 0.8 of a second lead. Then Chad Coleman ran him down. Hasn't been able to quite get past him. But Karlovic is right there with him as well. Karlovic is going to be deep to the inside. Did England have a bad turn 4? Oh, big checkup on Karlovic as well. I don't know if he was just trying to make the high line there or what. I don't think the 40 expected him to check up so hard. We saw Karlovic on the inside of the leader coming through the dog leg. Not going to capitalize on it. I've not been out on track, so I can't speak from a place of experience, but I'm very surprised that turn 4 and these drivers that have been using the high side here at 1 and 2 is not being leveraged. I'm sure there's a reason for it, but there's got to be a high line opportunity out there somewhere for one of these drivers, as now we see Cody Keller start to come into the picture. Again, as I've alluded to, the leader is not the fastest car in the top 5. Not even the fastest car nearly in the top 10, really. That time, it looks like the leader was the slowest in the top 5, slowest in the top 7. But nobody could get around, and that's the issue, the obstacle these drivers are facing, and that's all part of having the lead. If you could get up there and not have to overly push the car and maintain your track position, well, it's going to work out for you. So Karlovic rode right into the tire tracks of our leader coming off of 4. Karlovic must have heard us talking a little bit. He's going to run a little bit of a higher line or a little bit lower line in 2, maybe trying to find something different. Some experimenting happen here. They're going to have some lap traffic they got to work around. Everybody gets pinned to the bottom. Karlovic is going to leverage that all the way down to the bottom here of the racetrack. One, two, three, 4 in line here. Lap number 77. Long green flag run. I do suspect we'll have to see these drivers come down pit road maybe one time for fuel here. We'll have to see if that materializes. They were down pit road on lap number 36 for our leaders. I do believe they would have at least another set of tires, so we'll see if those pit stops end up happening here. The top 4 pretty tight as England's backed up the field here. In the picture in the distance is Justin Fuller in the top 5. He'd like to be able to get caught up with this group and have a shot at it at the end. But again, oh, a little bit of a higher line there. Karlovic tried to go a little bit higher through the corner. Keep the RPM in the car. Wow, Chad Coleman bouncing all over the place to the dog leg. Coleman now is going to be underneath Karlovic. Maybe that is why we've not seen anybody try to pull that off, because it did not work. Chad Coleman now underneath Karlovic. He's not going to be able to make the pass. Coleman's going to fall back to third. Jason's going to go high again. Going to see if he can make it work, find some speed up there. He's going to have the RPM, but it is a long way around. You know what? And that's why you don't listen to the commentator. The 60 car goes high in 3 and 4, and he's going to lose a spot. That's unfortunate for Jason there. I'm sure he'll find his way back up. Chad Coleman able to work by him. Now everybody in the top 5 is just bound up behind. Oh, Coleman sideways. Coleman got loose off corner exit. But everybody just bound up behind England. I am sure there's some frustration there, but again, it's all about needing to make the pass, and nobody has been able to do it on Dalton England here. They get single file back up to the 60 car. Karlovic gets moved up back up to P2. Coleman's in some trouble. Here comes the 51 of Fuller. Coleman looks like he may have spun those tires, or spun the good off those tires. And now here comes Fuller on the high side. Coleman tried to get clear, but that's not going to happen. It's going to be a drag race down the backstretch. Cody Keller sitting right behind him. Fuller's going to leverage the, big wiggle out of Fuller there as well. And Fuller's going to get clear of Coleman. Now Keller's going to look for the opportunity as well. Up front, England continues to run in the lead. Oh, Keller making contact with the wall. Karlovic is going to look underneath our leader. Big squeeze. Oh, and the leader's going to make wall contact. This may be what he needs to make the spot, make this happen. The 40 is going to try to take it to the high side. He tried to squeeze the 60 down low. The 60's out by half a car length on the backstretch. There's lap traffic in front of him. Jason a little slow. Fuller now all of a sudden creeping up the backside. Fuller's right there waiting to strike. Karlovic and England side by side as they come across the stripe. 3 wide for the lead. Fuller up against England. Karlovic on the bottom. He's going to bow out. Now it's the 51 and the 40 battling. Fuller, all of a sudden out of nowhere, he's going to strike. Oh, he's going to use that car as a pick. Perfect strategy. We called that earlier. And now, England's in trouble. He's on a part of the track he doesn't want to be. Oh, he's going to come down pit road. Dalton England pits from P2. We talked about the lap traffic. Was that going to become a factor? Justin Fuller leveraged that car as a pick. Trapped England up there on the high side. That slowed him down just enough to get the 51 the lead. Now, Jason Karlovic, P2. We're going to be able to catch our breath here. The 69 of Cody Keller. Chad Coleman, Lane Phillips, your top 5. So we know that we're going to need to see these drivers come down pit road here before it's all said and done. Fuller was last down pit road, lap number 40. Jason Karlovic, lap number 36. Cody Keller, lap 40. And the rest of the top 5, lap 36. So we know we're going to see some folks have to come down. And Chad Coleman's going to join that run down pit road. I hope he got slowed down fast enough. That looked like a hot entry there for the 38. As we look back here, Dalton England cycled all the way back to 20th. As he's going to try to race his way back around. He's going to have to put some foot to the floor and make some moves happen. In the meantime, Cody Keller, he's going to come down pit road for tires and gas. How much longer do we see Justin Fuller stay out? He's got some lap traffic to contend with here. Not what he wanted that lap traffic to do either. He's going to have to go real high here. That lap traffic, not necessarily in the way, but not doing anything to get out of his way as Lane Phillips comes down pit road for his stop. Still a mix of drivers that have not come down. Randy Yoakum, oh, the caution's out. Where's our incidents on track? Oh, we've got a car spun sideways. Not sure who that was. Oh no, Chad Coleman showing in an incident. That was Coleman sideways. Getting those tires up to temp may have got the 38 in trouble. Let's take a look. Coming out of 1 and 2. Oh, big wiggle! No, makes contact with the wall. Coleman bringing out the caution after a strong top 5 run. Under caution here. And what I am very surprised to see is Justin Fuller, Jason Karlovich, not come down pit road. Same with Steven Miles. Randy Yoakum electing to stay out. Oh no, are we back? Are we not down pit road yet? What? No, we are. What is this call? I don't know if this makes a lot of sense. We've got 7 drivers electing to stay out. Oh, there it goes. Okay. All right, here comes Fuller, Karlovich, Miles, and Yoakum. Yoakum has been on those same tires since lap 15. He's going to be grateful, but it's worked out for him. He's coming down pit road in 5th. So that's all paying dividends for him. All right, so a couple of drivers are going to benefit from this caution. Or at least one driver is Lane Phillips. He came down on lap number 90 right before that caution came out. Same with Gerald Livingston, James Durr, and Ron Holyfield. They all came down lap 91. So a little bit of pit strategy going to pay off in terms of track position for some of these drivers. We're going to step aside. We're under caution, lap 93. You're watching Turn 1. Restart catching up on us back. Green flag racing here in Phoenix. Lane Phillips, it's a madhouse in the top 10, but Phillips out front. James Durr, Michael Sharp, Alan Wild. Your top 4, and it is chaos up front. 2 and 3 wide back here. Here comes the 51 of Fuller on the high side through 3 and 4. Trying to make a 3 or 4 car pass all at once. They fan out going through the dog leg. By the way, England, I believe, got stuck a lap down. He did. Currently sitting 18th. Up there kind of battling. He needs to race his way past the leaders here to get back on the lead lap. As the top 10 gets settled in here. Fuller's running 4th. Lane Phillips, though, in the lead. With less than 25 to go here tonight under the lights of Phoenix for Sunday Night Thunder, right here on Turn 1. Who's going to be able to bring home the checkered flag? Really, everybody up the top 10 has got new tires. It's all going to be about track position. We saw how difficult it was for all those drivers to work by Dalton England. Well, Justin Fuller sitting fourth, and he's going to have to work by Dalton England nonetheless. Dalton's a lap down, but he's got to get by him to go after the cars. Oh, it's going to be a really close battle. I would argue England almost stormed the 51 there. That was tight racing through the dog leg. Fuller's going to squeeze by, but now he's got to go run down this top four, or this top three. And then you've got to, not only can you catch him, but you got to be able to pass him at the same time. So something just to keep in mind. And you've only got 22 laps to do it. Lane Phillips out front, rolling the bottom here. He's got James Durr with him. And they're actually starting to separate away from Alan Wild just a little bit. Fuller's going to look underneath Wild. Basically equal tires there, but Fuller's going to squeeze by. Oh, Wild's going to try to cross it over on the inside. They're going to be side by side going off into 1 and 2. Fuller's going to go high. Here comes Dalton England in that lap down machine, but Fuller's going to have the preferred line there. He's going to squeeze by. Fuller now up to third. But now he's got to go run down James Durr, which he's going to be able to. I don't suspect he won't, but boy, it's going to be a hard pass once he gets there. Phillips is driving like his life depends on it. He doesn't want any pressure from James. He wants James to sit back there and fight the 51 as much as possible. 20 to go here in Phoenix. As they come across the stripe, let's look at lap times. Fuller a 27:01. I'm sorry, Fuller a 26:84. Lane Phillips a 27:01, so nearly 2/10 faster that last lap. Phillips may be in a little bit of trouble here before it's all said and done. We see James Durr also ran a sub 27 lap. Oh, James went high. He's going to move out of the way. James makes contact with the wall. Fuller's going to squeeze by. I don't know what that was about, but either way, the 51 of Fuller up to P2 and in the hunt for Lane Phillips. Almost a full 10th faster last time by. The 51 is going to get there. Can he get by him? Going to come across the stripe. 17 to go here at Phoenix. Nearly identical lap times that time. And looking through the top five, really nobody else is going to be able to get caught up with a 51 here and the speed he's had. Unfortunately, we see that England, he's a lap down and just kind of stuck there. He's not going to be able to race his way around, especially the 51. So that is going to be a tough heartbreak out of Dalton England. Very similar story for the one car who has really fast speed. Got caught up in one of those restart cautions. Nonetheless, again, almost identical lap times. But here comes Fuller. He's just so good in turn 1 and 2. He's going to look underneath Phillips. Phillips is going to hold his line. Fuller, though, just way more quarter entry here. He's going to lead that lap. He's going to take the lead through the dog leg. Side by side. Now, can Fuller hang on to the bottom? Phillips is going to run the high line. He's going to have the RPM in the car down the backstretch. Can Fuller close the door? Oh, big impact. Lane Phillips hits the wall. That's all over. All over. Oh, and the caution's out. Oh, no. Dalton England, I show involved. His car is backed up against the inside wall. The 40 car bringing out the caution here for the 8th time with 14 to go. Well, Justin Fuller up front. This is going to give everybody an opportunity to get caught back up. Let's take a look at some of the people that could be in the contention here. As a couple cars come down pit road. Yeah, we are going to have a little bit of a mix-up up front. So, Jason Karlovich is going to move in behind. He's going to be being P2. He has been up there all night battling for the lead. The same tires as the leader. He's not had to race his way through the field as hard. Is that going to materialize into a potential faster car for that driver? We're going to find out. I think once it all shakes out, he's going to be on the inside of row number 2. Lane Phillips is going to be on the outside row 1. And then Joey Gattina, real quiet march up front, sitting in 7th. That driver's due for a good race here. Good finish. We'll see if that materializes into anything. We're going to step aside. We'll be back. Green flag racing before you know it. Right around 12 to go, or 11 to go. You're watching Turn 1. Pace car lights are off. And it's going to be Fuller, Phillips, Wild, Karlovich, your front 2 rows. Who's going to have anything for the 51? So we go back, green flag racing here. With just 11 laps remaining under the lights of Phoenix for the Sunday Night Thunder crew. Fuller, Phillips on the high side. Or sorry, Phillips on the low side. Fuller on the outside. Green flag back out. We don't talk for a living. No big deal. Green flag back in the air. Phillips is going to be right there trying to hang on to the inside. He sends it hard down into 2. What a run there for Phillips, but he's not going to be able to hang on. That inside line just does not work, but here comes Jason Karlovich. He got checked up by Lane Phillips just a little bit there. Can he get by Phillips with enough time? Right now, it doesn't look like, oh, he's going to make contact with Phillips. Phillips moves up, takes the left front off the nose of that 60. In the meantime, Justin Fuller out front by about 5 car lengths over P2. Karlovich now is going to get by Phillips. 9 to go. All right, now we watch this race. He's got plenty of laps, and he's got plenty of track. Only about 3 car lengths up ahead. What do we see Karlovich do? Phillips tried to send it deep to the inside. I think the 60 had to check up and ride a little higher than he wanted to. That's going to lose time to the leader. A 3-way battle happening back here. I think this is back here for 5th. Ooh, big wall contact. Everybody fighting for a position here with 8 to go. And all of a sudden, Fuller out front by 5/10. Can the 60 car do anything with him? Side-by-side battle there. That's Stephen Miles working his way forward. I think the 60 car is hurt. We saw him make pretty hard, or pretty big contact on that left front with Lane Phillips before he got by. Seems off the pace quite a bit to everybody around him. And that may be just the song that Justin Fuller needs to hear. Stephen Miles is on the move, but he's going to run out of time. He's going to look underneath Phillips here with 5 to go. Miles making a run for it at the end. Up 12 spots on the start. He's been up and down the field all night. Right to the bottom. He's full send into 24. Up to third, Stephen Miles goes. We talked about Karlovic maybe having a little bit of damage on that 60 car. Last time by, though, he ran an even lap time to the leader, so... But it's going to be too little too late. Still about 0.4 of a second with 4 laps remaining. He's going to be lucky if Miles doesn't pressure him for that P2 spot before it's all said and done. Oh, Lane Phillips makes more hard contact with turn 2. Miles, the deep drive off into the corner here. Oh, Karlovic makes claw contact. That is most certainly going to seal his fate. Miles is going to get by. 3 to go. Oh, big wiggle out of the 51. Oh, and the caution's out. Looking for it on track. Oh, the 60 spun around. Not what Jason wants to see. He's going to have to fast tow to the pits. And it looks like several cars were involved here. Before we talk about the situation up front, Karlovic on the high side of Phillips. Makes hard contact. Oh, then just turns down on delayed Phillips and then just can't hold it down. And a couple other cars get involved. Not the way the 60 car wanted to see his night end here at Phoenix for Sunday Night Thunder. In the meantime, let's talk about this, what's going to materialize up front in front of this group, or these top 5 or top 2 drivers, really. Justin Fuller and the 51 has been fast up and down the order tonight. Got back out front after that last restart and has driven away. Was able to hold off the advance of the 60. But Stephen Miles is back behind him. And I just noticed the last time Miles down pit road, lap 107. Those tires are just about 5 or 15 laps newer than the leader, Justin Fuller, who was down pit road lap 92. Is that going to be enough for Stephen Miles to pull off a finish here in overtime at Phoenix? We're going to find out. Lane Phillips, I'll tell you what, Lane's car, it looks pretty good for what I feel like the contact he has had here. Currently sitting P3. James Durr, Alan Wild, your top 4, or top 5 rather. And I'm looking through the running order. Really nobody here that's going to probably be in contention for this. I do believe this is going to be the 51 of the 24 show, as they go checkered flag hunting in overtime here at Phoenix. I believe they're going to get the 1 to go signal from the pace car right here. They will. I'm really surprised to not see the 51 take the high line. That's going to give Stephen Miles the opportunity to run the outside down the back, or run the outside through 1 and 2 and down the back stretch. Does the 24 have anything left on those tires to try to run, get clear of the 51? Can Lane Phillips maybe capitalize on a battle for the lead at the very end? They're 2 by 2 coming down the backstretch. What could be the last restart of the night? Pace cars down. Tied into the restart zone, green flag out. Fuller gets a good jump on Miles. He's out front by 5 car lengths. Free and clear through 1 and 2. Miles gets clear of Phillips. He's going to have 4 more quarters to try to get it done. Fuller running a perfect line. He's going to see the white flag. One more time around in Phoenix. Miles is going to try to run a little bit of a higher line, get the RPM in the car, but it's not going to be enough. Fuller going to execute a perfect restart. He's going to go one more time around through 3 and 4. Justin Fuller battles his way to a checkered flag here at Phoenix. Stephen Miles is going to bring home P2. Lane Phillips, Alan Wild, and Vincent Guerrero, your top 5. Ron Holyfield, James Durr, Michael Sharp, EJ O'Rourke, and Joe Hudson. Going to bring home the top 10s here tonight. We're going to step aside and bring some post-race coverage with Justin Fuller. Right after this, you're watching Turn 1. While we watch the 51 burn it down, we'll quickly talk to Stephen Miles, who brought home P2 tonight. Stephen, congratulations on a pretty strong run there at the end. How many more laps did you need to maybe run down that 51?
No telling, man. He was the class of the field today. Him and Morganson or whatever. I didn't even qualify. I started, I don't know, about 38th or something like that. Just wanted to see how the guys was running together, and it was somewhat like last week. It took a couple cautions to get it going, but once I figured out that I was pretty good on the long run, I knew that's what I needed. And right there at the end, to come get tires or to just stay out and ride, we had to do something different than the leaders. And I thought I had a shot right there with that green flag, but once that caution came out, knowing him with his restarts, it was going to be a long shot.
Well, able to bring home P2 here tonight, Stephen. Congratulations on that. We look forward to talking to you again here soon.
Thank you.
And with that, we'll quickly talk to race winner Justin Fuller. Justin, congratulations, redemption after last week. That's got to feel pretty good to run as hard as you did here at Phoenix.
Yeah, I just needed the long runs, and they obviously they came back to me. They got like 5 seconds out in front of me that long run. Reeled them all in and kind of passed them all pretty easily. And then we had a rash of yellows there down the race, and that kind of sucked. I thought Steven was going to get me, honestly, if we would have gone green there at the end. I thought he was going to get me on the restart, too, because he had so much fresher tires. But I was able to get a good restart and get a good turns 1 and 2 and just kind of manage it from there.
Justin, I was about to say, Stephen Miles behind you. He was on the move, had about 15 lap fresher tires. How much did a tire matter here tonight, especially after about 20 laps?
Fall off wasn't a whole lot. I don't think we even fell off a second on that long run. So it didn't mean a lot, but he wasn't that far back in the pack because obviously everybody wrecked out. So those fresh tires were, those were money for him. And he wasn't really a top 5 car all race long. And I think he came on there. I think he might have followed me up there on that long run. I don't remember, but I'm sure he was pretty decent on the long run too, because he was kind of running my pace. So I don't know. With the caution, the tires kind of cooled down a little bit and give me a fighting chance anyway. But if he would have got a little bit of a better restart, I would have been in trouble.
Well, all in the rear view now. It's sitting at victory lane. The 51 to Justin Fuller brings home the checkered flag at Phoenix. Justin, congratulations.
Thanks. Have a good one.
And with that, we'll talk to third place Lane Phillips. Lane, congratulations on a top 3, a third place here tonight. After it was all said and done, that's got to feel like a little bit of a victory considering up and down through the field tonight.
Oh yeah, man, it was a wild one for sure after getting in that little break early, and then luckily got to be in the top 5. I pitted right when one of those cautions come out after that long green flag alone. I was already in the pits, and so I come out and got to start second and just got to hang on to it.
Lane, how much did track position matter tonight? We saw a bunch of drivers, especially get caught up behind Dalton England, had some hard times getting around him. How much did that really being up front or being near that clean air matter here versus, say, being sitting in 5th and 6th?
It always depends on track position here, in my opinion. I mean, the better you are in clean air, it's just really hard to pass here. There's a couple times like I was running 6th or 7th there, and I was running quicker times than a leader, but I mean, you couldn't get to them because you were just so far back. And then for some reason, I don't know why, everybody else was entering 3 and 4 a whole lot better than I was. So yeah, clean air is a big deal here.
Lane Phillips bringing home P3 here tonight to play in pit strategy and a little bit of track position as well. Lane, congratulations.
Thank you, man. Appreciate it.
And with that, we'll wrap up race coverage here tonight on Turn 1 for the Sunday Night Thunder group right here at Phoenix. What a great race. So, obviously had to clean up the field a little bit. That got done. Had some nice green flag racing there at the end. Congratulations to the 51 for just a rock star execution of the race here. On behalf of the league admins, I'm Sean Fitz. Appreciate you tuning in. We'll see you tomorrow night for the American Sim Racing Tour. Playoff racing continues right here on Turn 1. Good night, everyone.